If your life feels slightly off right now, not completely destroyed, or you need to do like a dramatic overhaul, but just slightly misaligned, this video might be for you, because sometimes you don't need to start over 100%. Sometimes you just need a small reset. When we feel stuck in life, sometimes we feel like we need to do a dramatic overhaul. And I mean, change location, change the job, get out of the relationship, or find a new relationship. And most of the time, it's not that we need to overhaul our whole life. It's just that we've grown so much internally that our habits, our environment, our standards haven't really caught up to that internal growth yet. And that gap, it creates tension. It creates this feeling of maybe something's actually wrong, which it's not bad that you're feeling this way. It just means that you might not need to overhaul your whole life. You might just need to switch alignment. So instead of destroying and rebuilding everything, you might just need to recalibrate in order to see what your next move is, or where you are now and how you want to grow from that point. But understand this feeling is okay. And that's the reason why you're feeling that tension. It's because you've grown internally, which is good. But now you need to make sure you're going to upgrade those standards, your environment, and really just recalibrate how you think and how you move into that next step, into that next decision. So the quiet reset you need to make, it's not going to be dramatic. It's going to be very quiet, and it's going to be very intentional. And what that looks like, it's going to be adjusting your boundaries, cleaning up your routines, reducing the noise in your life, reevaluating who gets your time, and simplifying your commitments. The whole goal for this is about removing friction. So for example, if your mornings feel chaotic, it feels like it's bleeding over into your day, and you just don't have any structure in the morning, you might just need to reset, how you wake up in the morning. Do you do something where you have a morning routine that balances you, that gets you ready for the day? Or is your evenings just filled with overstimulation so you can't reset? Do you need to change that to something a little bit more calmer that's going to put you in a space of relaxation so you can wind down for the day? Or another good one is, do you not know what your standards are? Are you being pulled in multiple directions, so now you can't actually make a sound decision? The whole goal of the quiet reset is about recalibrating everything to make sure your internal world gets stabilized. Because once you're internally stable, now you can make better decisions. Now you can come from a place of understanding what exactly you need, but also what's going to benefit you and how you can show up as the best version of yourself. Remember, you don't need intensity to change. You need consistency. The reason why the quiet adjustment, the quiet reset is so powerful, it's because it's not dramatic. It's not meant to be chaotic. It's not meant to be announced to everyone. You don't have to declare anything. It's very internal. It's very intentional. And it's also very sustainable. It's supposed to be done in a way where it's not supposed to change you completely from who you are now. It really is just there for you to eliminate anything that doesn't fit anymore. The perfect example I can use for this is, on my journey, I decided I wanted to, go into the gym, be healthier, eat healthier. And all of this, a lot of the times we make drastic changes. If we want to eat healthier, we start to go on a ridiculous diet, we start to restrict ourselves, and we start to do all these things that there's so much pressure on ourselves that at a certain point, it's not sustainable anymore. And you eventually fall off, and then you get stuck in the cycle of doing it constantly over and over again. So start off small. You want to do the reset to the point where you don't change who you are. you just eliminate the things that don't fit for you anymore. So for example, when I decided I wanted to go to the gym, I didn't want to make it a thing where I was going 6-7 days a week, waking up ridiculous hours of the day, because everyone, it's like, oh, if you're not up at 5, you're not productive. And it's not going to be something that I can sustain for the long term. So I decided to start small. I decided to start going 3 days a week. I signed up for a class, just a regular spin class. I can follow the instructor. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to come up with this crazy, ridiculous routine of what I'm going to do. And I did that for months. I did that for about 6 months, where it was just 3 days a week. And I'm lucky enough to where obviously I work from home. So I can go to like a morning class where I'm not waking up ridiculously. My class starts at 9. I can do it at 9 for an hour and I'll be good. And I don't have to wake up at 5 in the morning, because I know I'm not going to sustain that. My alarm's going to go off and I'm not going to want to get out of bed. So I started to make small changes where I didn't completely change who I am. I didn't overnight become like a bodybuilder, but I did something where I feel like I could enjoy it. I can be more healthy. I can become the person that is going to be more active, which is what I wanted, but in a sustainable way. And I did the same thing too when it came to eating. I started focusing more on not restricting myself on how much I ate, but the quality of the food that I was eating. I tried to not eat out as much. I'd still eat out maybe once a week, but I was focusing on cooking more meals for myself. So instead of restricting my diet, restricting my calories, and then doing ridiculous times in the gym, I just focused on eating healthier foods, meal prepping, going 3 times a week to a class that I didn't have to think about. And eventually that consistency brought me to the place where, okay, now I want to do more because I can sustain this. 6 months later, I wanted to add, weight training in. So now I'm doing that. But I wouldn't have gotten to this place if I'd started drastically. I would have given up immediately if I had to become the person where I was getting up at 5 in the morning, working out 6 days a week, eating and restricting my calories. I would have given up because it wouldn't have been something I could have sustained for a long time. So having that small reset, that small recalibration, it's not about changing who you are completely. It's really meant to just refocus on what's important and start eliminating the small things that you don't realize that are not serving you, any purpose anymore. And that's what it's meant to do. I'm going to stop rambling at this point, but if you feel like you're just slightly off, not necessarily needing to completely overhaul your life, maybe you just need that quiet reset. And if you want more videos like this, if you want to hear more empowering things for women who are changing their lives, resetting intentionally and growing, hit the subscribe button, join the community, and I'll see you in the next video.